Ladies and gentlemen, here we are with the Upland Action News, a special report. This has never happened before, and here we are. We have Nichiren right here in his helicopter. What the hell's going on, sir?
Hey, how's it going, Davy Crockett?
Oh yeah, the old coonskin hat. I might have to make that my staple.
No, dude, that's awesome. You know, I remember when I was in 8th grade, that was a big thing.
Oh yeah.
For like a week, I think, but it was pretty cool at the time. And then we went all switched over to parachute pants. I don't know if you remember parachute pants.
Oh yeah. No, yeah. I still have some.
Those are cool for a while as well, but then they kind of turn into more of a fashion statement for girls. I think it might have been the zipper design, if you remember how the zippers worked on those.
Yeah. Did you ever graduate to the hammer pants? Did you have a pair of those ever?
I wore hammer pants for
Me too.
For way too long, probably.
Okay, cool. Me too.
I had a mullet and blue eyeliner and black nail polish because I was confused. I was a heavy metaler, but I also liked to flock a seagull, so I was all messed up at that time.
That's beautiful. Yeah. Wow. That's where I want to be. You know what I mean? That's what I'm reaching for that in my own personal life right now. So that's great.
It's never too late.
Yeah. So where are you right now?
I am at the terminal, which is in San Francisco, Terminal 2. This is Lou Daddy's little area.
Lou Daddy's, yeah, nice.
It's the only place I could get really cheap, and mostly because Lou Daddy's not around, so I kind of just steal a spot. Gotcha. And I'm hanging out here for a bit. I probably need to get out of here before these planes, cause some sort of collision and I get a fine, but we'll head out of here pretty soon. So yeah, I'm at Lou Daddy's, Terminal 2, basically.
Very good. Yeah, it's a beautiful day in Upland. I can tell the skies are clear.
Yeah, it always is, huh? That's how the virtual world is.
That's how it is, indeed. So you have some things that you want to talk about, some things to share with the folks.
I do, but I would like to start with seeing if you have any questions for me before we jump into that. If not, I'll just let it.
Oh man, I mean, I think let's just have you jump in, and if I have any questions, they'll probably come from some of your announcements. I have a feeling.
Sure. All right. So let's first talk about the dog patch. Okay. I have a lot of views on Upland like everyone else does, so I don't want to rehash everything that's been said before, right? Mm-hmm. And so my views come from a background of being assigned when I was a manager at IBM to go and build a data center in a world called Second Life back in the day. This is about 14 years ago. And so I didn't really know what virtual worlds were. And as Dirk has said, Second Life was the grandfather of virtual worlds, and surprisingly enough, it's still a very thriving world. It kind of surprises me that more people think it's dead. But so my role there was basically to I managed a team of about 14. I was supposed to take 2 of the developers and go set up this data center. As it turned out, I pretty much just went ahead and just did it myself. Learned the scripting, learned how to build. In Second Life, they have a lot of tools for that, and I'm not pushing Second Life, by the way. And you'll see what I'm talking about when I get to this.
Gotcha.
But I learned a lot in those 14 years. I learned how to be successful. I learned how to fail. I also learned a lot about large global maps where there's lots of people who are trying to do creative things. I learned a lot about how the Linden Labs, which at the time was Philip Linden, then it became Eb Linden, Eb Linden, as you know, recently sold Second Life and his pet project, which is Sansar, which was supposed to be a virtual reality world, and he didn't do a good job, but he didn't do a really bad job in that. He sold both of those worlds very recently in the last couple months to a company called Wookiee. Wookiee Enterprises basically took over Sansar, and then one of the members of Wookiee and another guy took over Second Life. So it's going to be interesting to see how they progress down that path. I think it might have been a package deal, like, hey, can you just, we'll give you Second Life because it's thriving and makes lots of money, but part of the package is you got to take this freaking Sansar off my plate, which I was kind of surprised to see that after they did that, Sansar's doing pretty well. And I won't get into details, but it's a whole different design. Second Life is very much an open. It was by design. It was an open world. It allowed people to do whatever they wanted. Linden's did not get involved with meddling in how things were going to be created. It was very much like CryptoVoxels, which is, if you're familiar with CryptoVoxels, I think there's like 2 developers, 1 main developer and maybe 2 interns or something. I don't know the details on that. I'm sure Rick Courier will correct me on that. He always does. But what they did, they set a foundation. And in CryptoVoxels, you have these, basically, it's like, what do you call it? Squares, right? You can build these stupid. It's like what's the game? What's the game there? I'm thinking of. It's
in CryptoVoxels or whatever.
Yeah, it's like oh crap! I can't even think. My kids used to play it, but basically, it's really ugly.
Minecraft or whatever.
Minecraft. There you go. Yeah. It's like the ugly brother of Minecraft.
Gotcha.
But it was enough functionality so people can build things, right?
Yeah.
And then they allowed for NFT art to come in. And that's pretty much all they offered. And if you look at how CryptoVoxel today is, there's been properties that are very expensive because it's all on Ethereum. They're selling for thousands of dollars. And I was doing some research. There's people who have bought property in there for $10 million. And if you look at blow my mind, right?
Yeah.
Which is great because if you consider a comparison between CryptoVoxels and Upland, and I hope to do a Upland Global News outline on this from my viewpoint, and kind of compare my view of where all these virtual worlds are today. You can see that Upland is really poised very well if they do what they plan on doing. And I say I pause there because do we really know what they plan on doing? We have a roadmap, and we hope that comes to fruition. So I'm really excited about that.
Yeah.
So you know, in my view, I think from a dog patch perspective, there's some things I'd like to see. I know and I'll be absolutely honest, I kind of am very lean and agile on this, which is whenever they release something new or they say something, or I hear something new, I do tend to kind of like shift and see if I can readjust to make sure I'm doing the right thing here. All this is for fun for me. Very much like Second Life, I make an okay living there. I could probably make a better living, but I make a pretty damn good living in real life that I do. So this is mostly just a creative outlet for me. And it's mostly about creating a community and helping that community grow and do something and manifest something. And I've done that well in Second Life. And I think, you know, I see Upland as an opportunity to do the same thing. And maybe my expectations may have been a little high when I first came in, because I thought, oh, they'd have streaming. I can get my performers over here rocking it out. We could do all this stuff. Then I realized, you know, we're in an open beta, and really there's only a few things we can do. They have the gaming aspect, which is great. I love the idea that they have a gaming idea going on to attract that target audience. Plus, they have the property development, which attracts you know people who are into maybe the investment portion of it. Mm-hmm. And I know Dirk had mentioned in the AMA, if he had a crystal ball, he would like to see in a few years less people interested in crypto, which kind of made me gasp a little bit. But I understood what he was saying. He was basically saying, it'd be nice if people just enjoyed the game, because that would bring more people in, and maybe they'll learn about NFTs, maybe they'll learn about crypto. But if we start with crypto, we start with NFTs, we may miss the boat of mass adoption of the game itself, right?
Right. Yeah. Well, it's interesting because there's kind of like, this mixture of like the crypto people and the gamer people, and then sort of like the virtual world people. But it seems like it's creating a very interesting conversation for sure. But I don't know of any other sort of communities that are meshing like that right now, like in that sort of way, like such like strong two voices kind of coming together. But yeah, I think it's interesting. I think it's only going to get more twisted as the game or the metaverse, grows. Like once we get into like, selling to fiat out, properties and goods and services and all that stuff, like just think of the arguments that are going to happen on Discord. It's going to be phenomenal.
Yeah, it should be. Yeah, Discord. my hope, honestly, is that all that communication, although Discord's great, a milestone for success for me for Upland. There's many. One is that communication and that kind of community actually is in world.
I agree 100%. Like it has to move into the world, I feel.
Yeah.
I think that's coming with like the cafes and stuff. I think will be like the first step at that when that happens. So
yeah. So this whole fiat out thing is really awesome. I heard it's going to come in the next couple months.
Yeah.
But let me give you my viewpoint on this.
Yes.
And I'd be curious what you think. And I'm going to talk about OpenSea here because that's leading into my exclusive announcement to you. Are you familiar with OpenSea.io?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay, perfect. So they're Ethereum, and so when you think about cashing out, right? You have to cash out someplace, and so Upland chose to build their platform on EOS, right? And if you look at EOS, it's been, and I want to talk to you later about crypto, by the way.
Cool.
Says my friend, you helped me out there. So it's based on EOS. So think about the logistics around selling a property. All right. I know we talk about neighborhoods and getting into a neighborhood because you can build it up and you're going to get in a collection. I was kind of hot on that for a while, but I have a whole different viewpoint. I'm going to talk about it a little bit later. But let's say you have a property and it's in an area that's kind of hot. Let's say there's a hot spot there, right? Kind of like the Tokenvize.io hotspot for the token net. You know what I don't know if you know. You do know what I'm talking about because you sent me the link.
Yeah.
And so let's say you want to cash out. So let's walk through that for a bit. How do you do that? There's no marketplace to go up like Decentraland goes up on OpenSea.io, and they can sell their shit there, right? NFTs, you can sell your NFTs because it goes right back up to Atomic Hub. You have a marketplace. I don't know of an EOS marketplace that would necessarily allow us to actually promote this. Maybe that's something Recurrier and his friends can put together. But what are your thoughts on that before I keep going?
Well, if you think about like the properties being NFTs themselves, and like Wax or, Atomic is like you're saying, like, why couldn't the properties be sold there, or something? Or, that's not the fiat, that's the crypto. And I guess we're talking to fiat. So, but it seems like the technology, like you're saying, maybe it's in the works of being built. Maybe that's part of, they say it's legal reasons that is creating the delay of what's taking so long to get it to there. But maybe there's like some tech to it too. Maybe something's being built. I don't know. But, if you look on like the DApp radar or whatever, and you go to EOS, they have like a ton of different things that are running off there, like DeFi and all, games and all sorts of other things. But I feel like it couldn't be that hard to build. You're the computer guy, right? Like, how is it? What's the complication in there and building a system like that?
Right. So if
they're working with Tilla, how is that going to work through the EOS thing? Do you have any thoughts on that?
I do. I'll get to that. But on the EOS thing, when I said where's the marketplace for it, wasn't really to slam Upland.
Yeah, no, I got you.
It was more along the lines, maybe there's an opportunity for somebody to think about that and maybe develop it. And maybe it's not needed. Maybe people will come in and buy a property for other reasons. And I'm kind of leading up to where I'm going here.
Gotcha.
And it may be crypto or otherwise, but there is no marketplace for EOS at this point outside of fiat out. Somebody hears about Upland and they decide they want to buy a property, they're going to be able to do it through cash or crypto. And that I believe that crypto would be probably wrapped if it's not EOS. So if it's Ether, it would be like wrapped Ether, things like that, which is totally awesome. And as far as regulations, this whole so as I understand it, the roadmap is this: we'll be able to buy a house and start having the ability to watch it get built in this year, and in 2021. Hopefully they'll be able to allow us to upload or bring in NFTs for display only, for no sales. I'm still curious about this whole car racing thing because Dirk talked a lot about car racing, and I'm hoping there's stuff we don't know. Yeah. Because when they talk about car racing, I'm thinking, wow, this is gonna be really freaking cool. So we know that, right? That you build a house, and then in 2021 you can have NFT in for display.
Right.
I'm not sure what that's going to look like because there's a huge difference between creating a 3D world and creating a virtual world. There's definitely a different thing. Crypto voxels is a virtual world. Second Life is a virtual world. 3D worlds are a lot different, which means it could be very much like what we see in the City Hall event with 4th of July, right? You
right.
have 3D building, you click on it, and all of a sudden they just splash your web screen with fireworks, right? So if the NFT, if they're driving toward an NFT gallery, does that gallery, will the gallery look like this, which is you zoom down into the dog patch, you find an NFT gallery, you click on it, and then all of a sudden it pops up on your screen, very much like OpenSea.io or Atomic Hub, and you basically have a list in a view of the NFTs for sale. Or will it be virtual, which means you can actually enter it and interact with it and immerse yourself in that world like you can do with Second Life and Crypto Voxels. I'm very excited to see what they actually come out with when they actually release that. And as far as regulations, that was one of my questions on the AMA because it's very key to me. And the response was very clear. I was really pleased with the fact that they actually responded in as much detail as they did. And if you look at that response and do a little research, what you'll find is that their ability to bring us NFT galleries is not, and hopefully Dirk corrects me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm correct here, is not hindered by waiting for any new legislation laws. There's no laws that has to make this happen. The ball is in Upland's court. They need to put together a plan, and I wish I had brought up my notes here, but they basically have to put together 2 plans, and the plans have to outline a very clear security model that allows for the government to sign off on the fact that they can do this, so there's no money laundering and things like that. Other companies have done this. There's models around it all over. So sometimes when I hear, well, it's very complicated, very difficult. It is complicated and difficult, but if you have a good lawyer who knows this stuff, you can put together a plan and you can get it submitted and you can get it approved. So my hope is, and I'm very hopeful about this, is that since it is in Upland's court and it's not waiting on some legal stuff to go through the quagmire of government, that we'll see this happen in 2021, and then things are going to frickin' boom.
Yeah, well, I feel like in the last few days, I keep hearing about it. Like Dirk was on Bad Crypto's podcast, and he was talking about this. Like it feels like the buzz is in the air, So I feel like if I'm hearing about it this much, maybe we are getting, like it's getting closer. Like it's like a couple weeks away. We'll start. I don't know. I'm hopeful, man.
You are a hopeful man. And you're talking about the podcast from yesterday, the 9th,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's great.
Yeah, when you posted that, I was so excited. I was like, let's go, because I'm pretty heavily vested in here, and so I try to pay attention to everything. That video, by the way, and the audio from the interview for Dirk.
Yeah.
Audio was an interview from months ago. It was a rehash of another video from Bad.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Right.
so they just kind of reused the same thing,
Gotcha.
which is
Okay.
fine. I was and I'm leading into my exclusive announcement to you. I was hoping that yesterday, the 9th, that interview with Dirk would actually have Dirk say a few things that I want to hear. One is, and I haven't heard this yet. I haven't heard this from Dirk or the Upland team. I didn't hear him talk about it in the NFT day.
Mhm.
I don't know if you saw that, where he was with Joel Calm.
Yeah, I was there. I watched that. Yeah.
Okay, so you remember they had three CEOs there.
Hmm.
Margarita was one of them, and then another guy, and then it was Dirk. And I like the fact that Joe Calm kind of stepped back and said, I'm asking you all these questions. Why don't you guys ask each other questions? So they had some conversation, which is super intriguing. And what I noticed from that was Margarita and the other guy talked about some partnerships that they're dealing with, right? Who they're working with. And I wish I had the guy. I didn't really prepare very well here. Sorry, LeftHouse.
That's what I never do. So yeah.
I know. I was doing it in the spirit of you.
You're right in the action here. Perfect.
And Margarita had all these. We tried cross-platform development. It was all text. It was all stat-based, and the reality between the idea that you can send your armor from one game to another game doesn't really pan out, and the reason for that is it's heavily development resource intensive, and they discovered that Margarita and her team discovered that very quickly, which is, do we really want our developers trying to work with other game developers to create this interaction where someone from Grand Theft Auto can bring in a car into Minecraft, for example? And what was really enlightening about that is that's like 10 years out, and if it does happen, it'll happen in one of two ways. One is either A, and I'll just use Upland as an example. Upland will team with another development company, a game company, and they'll do that bridge. And maybe they have the same themes. We know we have CryptoKitties, but that's basically just a demonstration of an NFT coming into Upland. Mm-hmm. We're talking about gaming here. Or B, you have large companies like Capcom or Ubisoft or whatever it is, who have massive amounts of development resources, and they're already creating a bunch of games, and then it makes sense to do it all in-house because it's cheaper that way. So that was intriguing to me. What I was hoping I'd hear Dirk talk about was, who are they partnering with? Because to me, it's if NFTs is important to Dirk, or if creating more gaming functionality is important to Upland, I would like to hear, who are they partnering with? Who are their partners to do this? And I'm hoping they have some. I don't know I have more to say about that, but I want to pause because I'm talking quite a bit.
No, it's okay. Yeah. I have. I'm not sure the answer to any of the things you're talking about as far as the gaming stuff goes. There's another virtual gaming world that's coming out called Blankos. I don't know if you've there's that one or not. There's a trailer for it, and it looks. I mean, they just have a Discord channel at this point, but their trailer, the animation looks insane, and it's kind of. It looks more focused around gaming, where when I hear Dirk talk about Upland, I feel the largest goal or the idea of it is to make it the largest hub for buying, selling, and trading NFTs. So I mean, I don't know if you're familiar with, there's an NFT site called Niftex, I believe it's called. And on Niftex, they're basically taking fractions of NFTs, like game pieces from some game, and like they're trading within the NFT. Like, so like people are owning like portions of one character. And there's some game that came out that like they released like the final character, or like I think somebody, you know, like there was only like one of them or something like that that they put out, and some person won it or bought it for like hundreds of dollars or whatnot, and that person promised to put it up on NFTs so people can buy like, you know, fractions or shares of this and then like finish the game. So like when I think about that, I think about Upland being NFTs, and then you have all these other, you know, CryptoVox, all these other NFT sort of like base things happening. Like, why couldn't you build like a world that is like, bring all the NFTs here and sell them and trade them, or what? I mean, like, I think you're right on what you're saying. Like maybe there probably is going to have to be partnerships formed, you know, like on both sides, like in the gaming world and on like, you know, like the brand side of things. You know, it seems like, or I don't know. I mean,
well, let me comment on that.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm going here is, we know that Upland's a small team. I think they have 25 developers in the Ukraine, and we have, you know, Auden. I hope I said that right, because I thought it was Aiden, but I heard Think Me Later when he interviewed him, call him Auden or something. So we know that team is here in San Francisco. So they're a small team, so they need to, and they're very good. I love how they actually do lean and agile. They do save. They have stand-ups, and they're giving out minimal viable product very quickly. But they're small, and that is a good and a bad thing. When they're small, you can actually sometimes be more efficient than a larger team.
Right.
But they can't do everything, so it's important that they're really focused on what they need to do. And when you think about partnerships, I heard Dirk say, kind of go through the titles of his team members, and I believe he had mentioned that there's I want to say business developer, but I'm not sure that's the correct word, but I know what I'm trying to say here, which is it's somebody who actually goes out and creates partnerships, right? Mm-hmm. They're the ones going out and getting, but that kind of leads me to my next point, which is when you think of the players here, you have the passive players who come in, and you know, they don't want to spend $5 to go up to Uplander status, and they're just floating around. And then you have those who don't want to go up to Uplander status, but they get hooked into it, and next thing you know, they're buying shit from New York, right? And then you have the whales who are totally committed to it. But then you also have that other stratosphere, like yourself, and I would say, Think Me Later, Too Stupid to Win, who are not only passionate about it, but understand that really for any game to be successful, whether it's good or bad, by the way, you can have a crappy game, but you have a great community with very creative people, and those creative people have the tools to drive it. That's a recipe for success. Second Life has that. You have tons of creators, you have tons of really creative people, and Second Life basically just created a foundation and said, Wild West, my friends, go make it happen. And so when I look at Upland, I'm thinking, is that going to happen? Is that going to happen, or is it happening? And that's kind of what I kind of keep an eye on.
Well, that's like also, I've heard Dirk say that as well. He's like, you know, they hope to be able to step away and have like the economy function in itself, and like, you know, like the people, like the community, the people like us bringing things in, and like, you know, like just build, like they wanted to kind of go Wild West, I believe, is what I've heard him say. Yeah.
And I think when they get the functionality to have that infrastructure so we can actually do those sort of things, I think that's when it'll take off. But that said, going back to my point, I didn't hear anything about any partnerships going on right now. And I think now is the time for them to actually announce some partnerships if they have them. But I know I found several sites, Google Docs actually, where in the earlier, I'm not if it's earlier days or not, Dirk was communicating with like a hotel, a lady who ran tourism in like, I think Puerto Rico, talking about franchises. And I was like, what is this franchising stuff? So he's obviously thinking of different ways to make Upland great. I don't know what this franchise deal is because I couldn't find any more information on it. But where I'm going here is that, again, it's up to you, me, it's up to everyone that's participating and believes in the vision of Upland to make Upland great.
Agreed. We need mug hats. We need mug hats. Make Upland great.
Yeah, and you're doing your job. I mean, definitely social media is an area that has to, continue to keep going. Upland Global News doing a bad job of it. I can't, like yourself, I have so many projects. Like, God, I'm gonna have to binge a week and just start knocking out some videos to catch up to you.
I know. I'm strangely, weirdly perverted, committed to, like, once I say I'm going to do something, then it's like I've literally stayed up every night before Thursday to do this for like the last 2 months. And I don't know why I'm doing it, but I love it, but I have to do it. Somebody has to do the news weekly. God damn it.
God damn it. I love it. So that kind of leads me into what I want to talk about from an exclusive announcement. So, and I won't go into a lot of details about how my vision is to kind of move what I've created in one world into Second Life, because I know there's 2 different platforms here and one's still immature. But I feel that where my strength comes into is what I've done in the past, and so that's kind of what I'm leaning toward. And so I've been actively reaching out to a lot of these companies in a very aggressive way, in a very professional way, but aggressive in the sense that I've reached out to like 12 groups right now, and it's based on my understanding, and I could be totally wrong here when it comes to Upland, is that when you look at Second Life and we look at crypto voxels, once the players get the opportunity to really start manifesting their vision, what you see is a hot spot. So in Second Life, by the way, why don't we go ahead and let me take you to a hot spot, which is the Blake Sea. Let's do a flyover, and I'll show you. There's not a lot of people there right now because of the time zone, but you're going to see some people probably on a boat over here someplace. And we'll just go ahead and zoom over here.
All right.
It's basically a sea. It's one of the most popular places in Second Life. There's several of them because you have a lot of creative people, and that's where a lot of sales go on. The property is very expensive. The music venues are really hot, those kind of things. And that's where you want to be if you want to be around a lot of people. There's thousands of people on there. And so we'll cruise over here and just kind of bomb a lot of these. Oh, and I got bombed. I wanted to bomb, by the way. My hope was to go bomb, go over and bomb Alamo Square. But to be honest with you, I haven't flown this helicopter in so dang long that I kind of forget exactly how to use it. I know I have to hit some buttons and hit fire, but I can probably shoot off some flares, but let's not do that. So anyway, let's cruise around here. So hotspots are key. If you look at crypto voxels, and I've spent probably the last month trying to go into crypto voxels and learn a little bit more about it. You see they have an art district, and that's where Super Rare is. And that's where Rareable and a couple other ones are. And they had a art event in June, and I attended that and to see what it was all about. And they were really excited about it. And it was like, it was like only 100 avatars showed up, but I didn't see any of the hundreds. But the announcement was like 100 people showed up. I was like, I pack 100 people into the red door in 1 hour, and when that performer leaves, I get another 100. Hey, you were there, by the way. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
I got video of you. I don't know. You look like you're carrying I don't know, what the hell were you carrying? I think it was a lunchbox, and I don't think there was food in there.
Definitely not food in there.
All right.
That was fun. That was like the first time I'd ever been in Second Life. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the goddamn music to go, but I did enjoy flying around over the party, and just looking down at everybody. That felt really, really fun. But yeah, I gotta get back in there and check it out again.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah, I'll come to
Yeah, we felt bad. We tried to get your audio working. Get your audio working.
know.
Mars got his shit going. He was on the drums. I don't know if you saw him, but he was having a blast. We have a lot of plans. He and I talk a lot.
Yeah.
He's going to do a live session. We used to have we had DJ an Uplander called DJ, who was there that night, by the way.
Nice.
DJ Mellow Man, who does blues in Second Life, and he was he usually kicks us off. But I think the next go around, which is on the 25th, Mars Utah said he's going to do at least 2 live songs, then he'll DJ for the rest of it. Then we have like 4 hours of wonderful live music after that.
Beautiful.
It's all about Upland, and that's that. And on top of that, I guess since I'm talking this way, we are holding an event because I have a whole bunch of properties in Mercy Manor because of the Blockchain Heroes deal. Yeah. Don't get me down that road, but so yeah, I have a lot of properties there. So we're going to try to give a property away, and over the course of months, we'll at least get rid of 50 of them to whoever.
Nice.
So yeah, so that should be fun. If you don't mind me doing a plug on that, on the 25th, we're also going to announce a winner of that property. In the way anyone who's interested in getting an opportunity to win it, they can actually visit. Maybe I'll send you a link. Maybe it'll be easier that way.
Link.
What's below, but basically it's Upland Global News Episode 3. And there's the instructions there. Or if you're on the Discord, the fan Discord, go to the Dog Patch channel. You'll have to verify your age because we are not suitable for work. But there's instructions on it. It's really quite simple. If you purchase a really cheap, at a very low cost, I should say, one of our artists' art, which is girl pinup art, we represent. Right now we represent 10 wonderful artists. And this is high quality stuff. I'm kind of bummed that it's not suitable for work tagged at Atomic Hub because when you look at Rareables, you look at Super Rare, they have, and honestly, if you look at the last art walk in Upland, they actually had pinup art as one of the clues. And what our artists present is very high quality, classy art that's based on, of course, the female expression. That's kind of what we are involved with. So we're encouraging, if you like a free piece of property, take a look at the instructions on how to do it. It's really quite simple. If you have wax, just spend $1. I think like you can get a mint, a really early mint, for some art, for like $1 in wax terms. Hit the don't even worry about subscribing. We don't really care. Hit the like button and then put your wax account there. And one of our live performers will be shouting out the winner. And in fact, during all our events, all our live performers are always talking about Upland. The whole thing is about Upland. And for me, it's more an opportunity to educate. And during these shows, it's not uncommon for people to ping me and say, what is this blockchain thing that you're talking about? What is this Upland thing? And so for me, it's an opportunity to educate them. In fact, the 10 artists that we have, and we're bringing more on board, but we're very specific. We've turned a lot of people away. Even when we bring them on board, we look at their collection. We probably select 1 or 2 of their pieces of work because we're very specific about what we're looking for. And so it makes, so it's a lot about education. So I'm actually educating my artists about it. They're very excited about it. When you guys buy something from them, they're paying attention. They're like, oh my God, somebody just bought something I made on the blockchain. So it's the way to spread. It's a good way to spread the news about Upland and also educate people about blockchain. So I'm kind of yapping here, but so yeah. So Utah Mars on the 25th will kick us off, and we'll have that event. It should be fun. And so this kind of brings me to what I was getting to earlier before I got myself off track, which is Crypto Voxels has a hot spot. It's the art district, and I've gone out and talked to and put together proposals, professional proposals to different groups, not just in the blockchain art world, but in other areas. And I'm pleased to announce that Super Rare, John Crane, contacted me the other day and told me that he's very interested. And let me just tell you what the proposal was, which is I was very clear, which was, I want you in the dog patch. I'm working very hard to make the dog patch a hub. And if there's anything I could do to help you, let me know. I would like to give you this property. It's a very sizable property. It's actually near yours. It's right next to Jim Juice's. Mars, Utah, he came into the dog patch. We plan on doing whatever we can to help him. Inky Bro is there now. I don't know if you Inky Bro, he lost a bunch of property. He's a cool dude.
Yeah, and I'm there. Like you're saying, the Upland Action News that's the home of the action. So that's where the action is going to be. So that's where the action should be.
We're happy to have you there. And then, of course, Jim Juice is there. Z Hidalgo Dog. I didn't say that right, did I? Screwed that up, didn't I? Z Hidalgo Dog. Z Hidalgo Kids. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
ZH. He has actually another property that's right across from mine, which is iconic, which actually is exactly where we're offering, right in between those two properties, is we're offering Super Rare to set up their home base.
Beautiful.
The Lou Daddy's there as well. And all this is really, I'm willing to give it all away. My whole point here is that I would like to see that to be a hub for art and entertainment. And also, I also know that other groups are doing the same thing. So Alamo Square, I hope to God they blow up, and not blow up, I didn't mean that way. I hope they manifest their vision there, because that's the only thing that's going to make Upland really exciting, is when people actually do this type of footwork to make things happen. So John Crane contacted me and said he's running the idea by his team. And then he said this was a few days ago, on Monday. In his email, he said, and we are actually talking with Upland. So something's going to happen with Super Rare. We might see them come in. That'll be huge for Upland.
Yeah.
My hope is that they set up shop in Dog Patch.
Yeah.
However, I don't know how, I don't know what transpires between these, the Upland team and John and his team. But
right.
It very could possibly be, and I hope this isn't the case, is they decided to throw another, I guess there's three options. One is Super Rare looks at the situation, talks with Dirk and his team. He says, I don't think we're really ready to get involved with this, and poof, it's done. Option two is they speak with Dirk and his team, and they come to an idea to hold like a 3-day event like they did the Blockchain Heroes and sell out some more blue squares. In which case, in 8 hours, those blue squares will be done and the hype will be gone. And then you have super rare in this neighborhood. And that benefits whoever, I don't know who it really benefits, to be honest with you, because I went all in on the Blockchain Heroes thing. And the reason for that was I was chasing the hot spot. I don't really care about neighborhoods. I want to know where the hot spot is. Collections, things like that, I think is kind of overrated. Wherever the action is, that's where you want to be. And in the AMA, I said, because I noticed during that event, Travis from Blockchain Heroes made a comment. He was like, man, that's a small property, because they put a tag on that property. It was kind of a small property, right? And then during the actual interview, he actually jumped over out of the neighborhood and bought a larger property across the street. And I was like, no, you can't do that. You cannot possibly be leaving this neighborhood. I bought 121 properties here because I knew you were going to be here. And so in the AMA, I asked Dirk, I said, Blockchain Heroes has a small property. Do you think they're going to stay there? And Dirk's response was, they can do whatever they want. I'm like, no, you can't. No, they can't. We're investing in this thing, right? So I hope that Blockchain Hero stays there. I don't think it's really good that if they're going to hold these events to sell blue squares, that they allow the anchor of the situation, in this case, Blockchain Heroes, or maybe Super Rare in the future, to just up and go, because that's kind of what the people are doing. Is their players are trying to make something happen, and they're spending money. I mean, this is a very expensive game. Yeah. So we'll see what happens. I know they'll do whatever's right. I wouldn't be sore if it doesn't happen in the dog patch, because I have other things in the works as well. But I think it would be great for all those who are believing in it, living in a dog patch, to see that as a win for the people, as opposed to just, another event that lasts, 8 hours and people buy a bunch of. They could literally put Super Rare in a dog patch and still hold an event. And that's my kind of point here, is there's lots of good property, property around dog patch. And if we think of it as this is going to be one hub, I mean, there's going to be more, obviously. Mount Olympus, I know Mars, Utah is big on that. You probably have some ideas around your film studio. Alamo Square for sure. That group is really working really hard. So there's room for everybody, but it comes down to everyone has to do the work, and so I'm excited about that. I can tell you also, I'm talking with I'm going to screw up this guy's name, but it's Ila Komokin, who's part of Rareables, and I talked with him and Marsha V, which is one of his admins, and they're very excited about the idea too. I haven't heard back from them in 2 days, and maybe it's Labor Day. That's probably the issue. Crypto art women, I should say. Wow. This is a great group. This is a group of women who are into art, digital art. They have a very active Discord. They have a very strong presence. I think they're relatively new. Wow. They're funnier than hell, by the way.
I'll have to check them out. I haven't heard of them yet.
Yeah, they're really cool. Crypto art women, and but what I like about them is their art. I mean, it's very, very. It's my style. So basically, it's kind of stuff I like. So they're involved or interested as well.
Nice.
And you look bored over there,
No, I'm loving everything you're throwing at me. Trust me. I just still haven't slept, so I just look like a mess. But this is fucking fascinating. It's great.
Well, you always look like a mess, by the way.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
Sure. You bet. You should see me right now. It's not like quarantine for this long is not really good for me. So yeah, so here, and I was thinking, I got, what else can I do? What else can I do? To do what I want to do, basically, which is to manifest something that's successful. And honestly, I'm a gamer in Upland, but I also want to be profitable. I would love to see all of us to sell our properties for $10 million. That'd be great. Yeah. If it holds up tomorrow, I'm fine with that as well. It's been a fun ride, but I don't think that's going to happen, and I'm going to do all my damnedest not to let that happen. And
well, it's amazing, like how much time you've had in Second Life, and you've been through it, you've seen it. Like, so I imagine you probably have a pretty good advantage in a pretty good idea of how to go about doing this. So, I mean, I'm glad you're here in the neighborhood, in the Upland universe and the metaverse or whatever. Like, it's dope that it's exciting. Like, and you're right. It's going to take us to make it go and make it interesting and a place to be. And for sure, it's on the creative folks of Upland for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I think you're bringing it. It's brilliant. Yeah, it's insane. Like how much you seem to you're like the James Brown of this shit. You're the hardest working man in Upland. It's pretty dope. You definitely have a lot of different. I mean, I'm similar. I have a lot of different projects and stuff, and there's things that I'm excited to talk about when I can talk about them and stuff in the future. But yeah, it's That's what was so appealing and attractive to me about Upland was like it just seemed like a canvas for a lot of the creativity and a lot of the art and the music, the film, all the shit that I do. Like I'm like, this is the place for it.
I agree. And on that note, Upland fan art is awesome, and what you're doing is actually kind of one step ahead, because if you look at some of the projections of the digital art world, which includes not just art but also video and movies, it's supposed to be like an $8 billion industry by 2022, and that's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's amazing.
A mindset of people starting to grab onto the idea of what digital art can do. And Nifty Wizards, for example, and a couple other, actually Steven in Upland is with a company that's doing something very similar to Nifty Wizards.
Yeah.
Nifty Wizards, as you know, or may not know, they have a website. They're selling digital art, and they're very, very specific about what they select, which is really key. But they also created an app that you can download. It's a beta app, I think, at this point. It goes on your iPad or your Android phone, and it allows you to display your artwork, your collection, right? Show off your collection.
Oh,
and I know Stefan 900, I think his name is. Their company is coming out with a full screen option for that, so you can actually remove your home artwork and start displaying it up online. And it's nothing new, right? Because I think in Walmart you could actually buy something and send it to your grandma, so you can like over the internet send your home photos, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that concept. So it's the ability to share your collection with other people. So in the future, I think that's going to be pretty much where it all goes.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, the thing is like on all of these levels, NFTs, Upland, we're early, and it's all going to evolve, and there's a lot of trial and error, and it's like, it's fun to be here now. It's going to be fun to watch it flip and change and grow and be a part of it and make it grow. So it's all, this is it.
So I'd like to take this opportunity because I know I've been watching your videos. I'm a big fan, and I subscribe. And every time something pops up, I'm usually over here, probably the first one.
Yes.
And I know you've been trying to get people to hit your like button. I don't know why they don't. It's like, why? I mean, you get a lot of viewers. It's like you need more like buttons. So for those who are watching now, if they stay this long, I probably bored everybody. By the way, LeftHouse, you smash that button for sure.
Smash the like, yeah.
Make that happen.
I kind of was enjoying the fact that I couldn't get to 50 likes for the t-shirt giveaway, and I was almost wanting that to be my ongoing running joke. It felt good, it felt like the way to end the show. But then I don't know, I felt like it was time to give one away. I got more shirts to give away. That'll happen soon. You
created some some creative juices in me, because I was thinking of doing a show, and I was going to grab one of my old shirts and rip it apart, because actually it's already ripped apart, and with a marker saying Upland. And I was going to give that away. I was going to make a kind of a comic thing out of it.
Amazing.
So yeah, I appreciate that. How's your token set going? Then I guess we can kind of wrap this up, because we've been going for
the token sets. Yeah, I mean, the funny thing is gas prices are so high. So basically my sets are kind of stuck. I mean, I'm really happy with the gains that they've made for sure. But until we can figure out this gas price thing, yeesh.
Well, hang in there. I'm not sure what token sets you actually got, but if you got the Profit Taker and
Taker for sure, right, yeah,
be fine. It's going to be a pullback right now, and as you know, Chainlink. I'm assuming that's where you're at.
Yep.
Chainlink plays off the Bitcoin and the Ethereum activity. When people are seeing Bitcoin and Ethereum dump, they want to take refuge. They either go to Chainlink or they go to Bitcoin. So it's a little low right now, but that's not really a bad thing. ETH 2.0 is coming out.
Yeah,
you're gonna see some gains. Hopefully, you're above water, not below.
Doing really good right now this year, as opposed to like the last couple of years, Jesus, but like, yeah, this is, even with like this last little dip, like I definitely wasn't in good position just because I'm doing too much creative shit. But like even with what I lost, like it's not bad, like, and it's already started to come back a little bit. So another coin to look at is XDAI. I don't know if yeah, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that one is like definitely one, I think. And then I don't know if you're familiar with Energy Web.
No, I haven't heard that one.
Okay, that one is like every major energy company is involved. Tesla's involved. Like they're gonna start trading energy. Like they're building like DEXs for energy trading, and like I don't know. There's a whole. It's just look into Energy Web token, and I think that one's worth holding on to there as well.
You mind if I do a shout out really quick? Because I forgot.
Please, yeah.
I really absolutely have to thank Jonah from Atomic Hub.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a guy or a girl. I'll just say it's a girl. I have no idea. Jonah. But she's been super helpful, and she actually took the time to implement that not suitable for work, so we could get art up on Atomic Hub. And then also Ben from Wax Explorer. I don't know. Are you familiar with Wax Explorer?
No, I don't think I've come across that one. Oh, no, yes, I have. Yes, yeah.
I would have known about Wax Explorer unless Thank Me Later told me. So thank you, me later.
Yeah, thank him later. Yeah.
Yeah, and Ben has been awesome. In fact, he's redesigned his entire site because after the 25th, we're going to have a artist meeting in Second Life, and I'm going to kind of educate them on blockchain, and we're going to take them through the website, because honestly, some of these artists, I think all of them are female actually. A lot of them are excited about this, and so, but they don't even know how to spell blockchain. So I told Ben, this is what's going to happen, because his site was pulling from Atomic Hub, and he doesn't put not suitable for work, so you can actually see the art. So I point girl pinup art straight to his site for that particular reason. But he wasn't polling the data right. So I kind of said, can you kind of put the title and at least the art thing? And he just jumped all over it. And I was really, and then he got excited and started redesigning his site. So I just want to do a shout out. I doubt he's listening to this, but Ben at Wax Explorer and Jonah at Atomic Hub, those two, I love people who are so responsive and so willing to help somebody they don't even know.
That's cool.
Shit done. So I will end there, my friend. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you might be out of gas by now. We might have you crash over Dogpatch. That'd be terrible. But man, thanks for coming on and having this chat and sharing everything. I'm happy to be a part of the Dogpatch future. Let's go. Let's make magic happen, my friend.
All right, Davey Crockett, you have a good one. I'm going to fly out of here. Appreciate it very much.
All right, and we'll see you in Upland.
Cheers.
Be looking forward to that. And then the hot question of the night did come from Nichiren. He wanted to know if I had any hot sisters, and once he finds out her name, he'll answer his other question. So yes, I have a hot sister. Her name is Too Smart to F You. So let me know how that works out for you, buddy.
Oh, shout out to our boy Nichiren, always keeping it interesting.
Girl Pinup Art is a unique and rare collection of work currently representing 12 artists. The first ever drop is scheduled for August 28th, 2020. Girl Pinup Art. Collect, trade, or sell the beauty of the female expression.